Stand by. Camera 1 rolling. Here we go. Going live in 3, 2, 1. And we're live.
Good morning. From beautiful, sunny, not at all cloudy and dreary Mill Valley, California. Welcome everybody. I don't know who's on the stream just now with us, but hey, if you're here, welcome. Glad to have you. We've got Jeff on camera today, and here we'll pull this around. And my name is Alex. We're just out here mostly enjoying the sights and sounds of this Bothin Wetland Preserve, and it's a unique setting in California, in San Francisco, for the sake that it's one of the last salt marshlands of its kind around the San Francisco Bay Area. I was pretty thrilled to initially discover this place because it's a great example of what the entire bay would have looked like for eons until humans eventually came and messed it up. So we've got this wonderful sighting this morning of stilts, which are a very common bird here along the shore, a very stately bird. Doing their thing this morning. What do you think, Jeff?
Just kind of hanging out over there, doing his thing, fishing. We got a nice little group of them over there. They're kind of spread out right now. But look at them, just enjoying the morning. Not bothered.
Nope, not in particular. Here, we're going to pull that around. There we go. Yeah, we've got, all said and done, a lovely morning. It's cold.
It's chillier than we want it to be.
It's what, 50 something degrees?
Maybe. If we're lucky.
If we're lucky. But if we pull back on that shot just a bit here, let's here, we're going to pull that guy around so we don't confuse everybody. We are in the middle of a very urban setting. I mean, around us is the entire San Francisco Bay Area, and yet right here in this one small little speck of it all, we've got this awesome salt marsh preserve. So there's a view just there of the background. That's Mill Valley, home of BJ Honeycutt, if you're a fan of MASH. Doctor that served during the Korean War for the U.S. military.
Good reference.
I got to throw that in.
I appreciate it.
But we're here mostly to think about climate change and its impact on this environment, because this environment is a prime example of sea level rise, which we'll kind of explore as we go. And we're also going to attempt to maneuver our kit. We were just talking about the fact that we think we're going to get a wagon for this kit.
Yeah.
I think that would be pretty cool, because right now our kit is all quite stationary, so we're going to probably try to hobble this around later. But we've got all kinds of wonderful bird life around us, and urban life as well. So how long do you think people have lived here in the San Francisco Bay, Jeff?
God, I hate you for testing me this morning. I haven't even had coffee.
Neither have I.
Oh, good.
We're going to get some after the show.
San Francisco. I'm going to say at least a couple hundred years.
A couple hundred.
A couple.
Yeah,
hundred.
no, that's
is
good.
that vague enough?
That's probably fair. Do you know its original name?
No, I don't.
Well, I guess I don't know the original indigenous name for this area, but Spaniards, your people,
my people, yeah.
When they colonized,
when we came over and destroyed everything,
and destroyed it all, yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
you guys did this.
Uh-huh. You're welcome.
They called it yerba buena.
Yerba buena. I should have known that.
Good herb. I don't actually know why they called it yerba buena, to be honest. All I know is that's what it was called. And then as time progressed, we began to call it San Francisco, which means St. Francis, in case you didn't know that.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Just double checking. Yeah, cool. All systems are a go. This is the first ever WildLIVE TV virtual safari, and we are thrilled to bits to bring it to you. Let's
I didn't sleep at all last night because of this. I've been stoked.
I'm stoked too, and also full of anxiety and depression. But
it's
fine. Let's grab a shot of some other wildlife. We've got stuff all around us. Let's show the people what they've come here for.
Over here.
What do you got?
I don't know. I just hear it calling. But we're gonna turn this guy around. This might not be the prettiest shot in the world. I don't know if you want to.
You're good.
Okay. Well. Turn this boy around.
This bad boy. So our camera setup basically looks like a machine gun turret from World War II. Which I think is pretty cool.
Oh my.
Now the background that you guys have there, that's Highway 101, or the 101,
The 101.
as the cool people call it. Flanked by these wonderful, here we're going to switch over to them, pelicans, brown pelicans, to get really specific.
Yes. And preening themselves. Lots of preening. Actually, there's another bird over there. Not nearly as cool as the brown pelican. You can see a little egret over there.
Do you know what the
Infinitely less cool.
Do you know what the pelican family is called?
Oh no. Is it like, oh god, I don't know.
Pelicanidae.
Damn it, I should have said it.
I love it.
I
Pelicanidae.
should have said it. Do you have a favorite species of pelican?
Nah, I've never thought about it, to be honest.
Pretty cool birds.
Now, I imagine there's going to be some folks that eventually ask, what the hell do you mean by calling this a virtual safari? You're not looking at antelopes or giraffes or elephants.
Sure, because we always think Africa when we think safari.
Yeah, that's a bummer.
It's not a thing. Well, I mean, it is a thing, but you can safari everywhere.
You can.
And safari means
Journey.
journey.
In
Oh my god, in Swahili.
Swahili.
It's like, wait, is this a trick question?
Yes. Yeah, I think the premise should be simply to enjoy nature and be inspired by nature on a journey. You're out to explore, to see the world around you. So we've got, pelicans, which might not visually be the most exciting sight, but hey, it's something, We've got
something.
animals there. The air here, because we're in a salt flat,
Yeah.
smells like poop. It's not a good smell.
There are better smells out there, we'll say that.
It's a brackish, saltish,
You can just feel it as well.
uncomfortable
You can
smell.
feel it in the air.
It's oppressive.
Yeah.
The salt. We got a stilt coming up on shore here. Let's take a peek at that. So stilts are one of my favorite birds to watch, just because of how delicate they move their way through the water. These tiny little feetsies just kind of move very specifically as they search for small fish, small crustaceans, those kind of things in the water. Jeff will get us there. We go, a nice view of a stilt who's come ashore. I don't know yet how to identify males versus females. Do you have any guesses, Jeff?
Oh boy. I imagine, it could be eye color, it could be, some sort of plumage thing. It could be nothing.
Let's look it up.
Not all birds are sexually dimorphic.
That's a phrase I haven't thought of in a long time.
Oh, look at that boy. Look at him. Yes.
Yeah, according to the USGS here, there's very little dimorphism between them. Males being just physically slightly larger and a darker color. So this friend
that
here
could be
looks,
a boy.
yeah, reasonably dark.
So he's just kind of slowly coming into the foreground here.
Do it, buddy. Do it. Get spicy. Yeah, it's so weird that the output looks so fuzzy. I'm assuming we have a bad
Is it
signal.
on the laptop or the phone? That
The
it's
phone.
fuzzy or both?
Yeah, that's weird. Must be a setting. I'll have to play with it.
Yeah.
Let's check it out. Output. No, we're at 1287.20. What I said it at. That's right. I'm sure it's fine. We could just put peeking out from the grass.
Right? He's having a great time.
So again, very common sighting here. Stilts, we've got really all kinds of shorebirds around us. There's egrets, there's pelicans, of course. I hear several variety of songbirds in and around us.
Yeah.
I'm sure if we looked hard enough, we'd find osprey nested somewhere nearby. I was hoping we'd see one. Who knows? Maybe we will. But the salt marsh here itself is important to the story of climate change, if we're going to think about that. Because realistically, this whole area behind us, maybe Jeff, back up for a second to kind of show really how built up this whole environment is at risk of sea level rise, because sea level here is projected to raise 10 feet, potentially by the end of this century, which is alarming. If that doesn't alarm you, I don't know what does. The fact that everything you see is going to be underwater, that whole really that whole valley is going to basically become a shallow inland lagoon.
Right.
10 feet, that's
That's a lot.
what are we, just over 6 feet?
Yeah.
That's a lot of water.
That's a lot of water.
Yeah, I'm trying to pull up a map to show everybody. So, Salito. No map for that. Let's go with. We'll make that one work. There we go, we got it. So this is a map that shows us what potentially 6 to 8 feet of sea level rise looks like. That's pretty extreme. That's the whole San Francisco Bay Area. Watch as this graphic changes. We go from 6 feet, it'll change to, what is that, 50 feet? I think this is pretty extreme. And the simple reality, again, is that we're fueling this process through climate change, which, how many times have you heard people deny climate change?
Too many, unfortunately.
Do you think climate change is maybe the wrong term?
Sure. I mean, it could be. I mean, it's one of those things where it's the proper thing, but it's not what people want to hear.
Right.
Do you have a better term in mind?
Well, that's what I was going to speculate on, is what could be a better term than sea level rise, climate change? I mean, I always thought global warming was the wrong term to be using.
Yeah.
And even though the science supports it, I think climate change is the wrong term to be bringing up. I don't know. We got to find a term that's undeniable to the naysayers, because you'll have somebody point out, well, the climate's always changing. The person who says that won't ever be able to highlight something like the medieval climactic anomaly and be able to actually talk to you about it. But the point is, I think climate change, I think science in general makes people nervous.
Yeah.
And when you throw out big terms that they don't understand, their first instinct is to just freak out and ignore you.
Yeah.
Which is too bad.
I think one of the other issues that we have is that we still have people like flat earthers who are around. And as long as they're around, climate change is very much the wrong word, or term, I should say.
We got Alex Finden with us.
Oh my God.
How's it going, Alex? Maybe something more negatively impactful like climate disruption.
There you go.
I'm down with that, climate disruption.
Disruption works. Yeah.
Just a term that is people couldn't deny, and people still are going to try. What do we have, Jeff? Oh, look at this stilt coming
There's
right
just
up to the
another
shore here. Hold on.
stilt right here.
I'm going to make it so we don't confuse the entire audience. I think that's a great suggestion, Alex. Climate disruption. We have looks like a male stilt coming up on shore very close. Jeff just desperately trying to wield a bazooka turret gun around here to get us a shot. I probably shouldn't be talking that loud either, although he seems completely unfazed.
There he is.
This is a stilt, Alex. It's STILT, named for their long, thin legs. They're in a family that has about 6 or 7 cousins, all built about like this, kind of these weird, thin, oblong bodies with long, very tiny, delicate legs. Trying to think of what they remind me of. Because they make these hilarious little beeping sounds. They've got like a giant toothpick for a beak, which is a perfect tool for prodding and poking through muddy marsh flats, exactly like where we are here, as they search for mussels, small clams, small fish, worms, grubs, anything that might be living out here. Earlier we were commenting on the sexual dimorphism is almost non-existent. Males and females are nearly identical, except females are just slightly smaller and a little browner. So this appears, at least from my eye, which is obscured by some of the brush here, to be a male. And Jeff, you've got the eyes on the screen there. What do you think?
It looks like a male to me. He's pretty dark. They are pretty dark.
I'm going to try to, let's see. Well, you're very eloquent. This is like BBC quality footage you're getting here. This is excellent. We need to call David and you're going to get a job later.
That would be great. Thanks, David.
Whoops, hold on here. I'm just trying to, I want to show the folks what your setup looks like. There we go. There he is. He's our World War II machine gunner. He's got his machine gun nest going here.
Hello. Come to shoot some stilts.
Filming today on a Nikon D7500 with Sigma, what is that, 150 to 600?
Yeah. Alright, he's slowly walking away, unfortunately.
That's what they remind me of. Stilts remind me of Popeye's girlfriend. That's what they look like. Popeye's girlfriend.
Olive
What is
oil?
it? Olive oil, thank you.
That's good.
Well, not the most visually exciting morning going on here. Why don't we,
Oh my god, we've got flight!
we got flight?
Oh my lord. They're feeling saucy now. Saucy boys. Been a couple songbirds
I heard a kingfisher.
Ago.
Oh, there he goes. Kingfisher at your 5 o'clock.
Oh my god.
Let's see where he
Well,
goes.
let's,
I really want to get a shot of that kingfisher.
Yeah, we're gonna be shooting into the sun.
No, he just landed on that tree over
I
there.
see him. Yeah, I'm gonna get him.
All right, hold up, guys. Hold up.
I'm gonna get him.
So if Jeff would move his flight, there he goes. Oh, kingfisher up on the flight again. Let's just see. Kingfisher's just out there. You might be able to see him on this camera flying around a little
I
bit.
see him flying up there. Yeah, hang on.
I think we've caught him right in the middle of hunting.
Nice.
But he went way out there. Look at that.
Yeah, he's way.
Did he crash into the water?
I think so. I lost him.
Oh,
A pelican's flying in. Come on, buddy. Where'd you go?
do I have my... It'd make too much sense if I packed my binoculars.
Let's look at some pelicans while
Oh,
we're
I
waiting.
did.
Oh my god!
I totally did. Oh, lordy lord.
They said it wasn't possible. Sit tight, kids. We're gonna get this guy for you.
I don't know where he is.
He's quick boy.
That was briefly very exciting.
Sorry we couldn't get it.
We want to move on to those pelicans instead? That's the same.
That's. We're going to be shooting into the sun here, so it might be a little bright,
A
but
little washed out.
a little bit. Not as bad as I thought, but. It's okay.
All right, well, give us 2 seconds here to just kind of listen. Oh, look at this. Let's see if we can get a shot of this. That's too cool. We're also experimenting with, like, how good of cinematographers are we? How fast can
That's
we
the
adapt in
wrong
the
way.
field? Ah, they're going away, aren't they?
Yeah.
There you go.
There
Oh,
goes.
shade on the water here. Look at this. All this shit
Right.
coming in.
Boy. Oop. Thought they were going to fly by, and they didn't. Curses. Whole flock of pelicans. Oh, hang on.
What do we got? Oh.
Hello. Turns out shooting wildlife is kind of hard.
Is it? A little bit?
You know, unlike you know, landscape photography and stuff, the animals move. It's crazy.
Yeah, the land doesn't run away the last. Well, technically, in some cases, it could. Soil creep and erosion and etc. Boy, that's a great shot right there.
Oh, from flying away.
And then it gets blurry.
Yeah, I know. I got him in focus as he was landing. It's like, no.
The Sony has a tracker on it, and it'll
I know.
keep focus as it goes.
I know. That's my big selling point here. To Best Buy.
To Best Buy after the show to buy more junk.
More pelicans flying.
Now, for me, this is the, I think, exciting part of nature. We've simply come, we're just out here experiencing the elements. It's cold. Again, the water smells brackish and kind of like poop. We've got this wonderful set of bird sightings going on around us. And the joy is quite simply in being here. We could be at home. We could be
At Best Buy.
at Best Buy. Yet we're here enjoying the great outdoors, which I think is where people belong. We need optic stabilization,
I
how it
think
says.
maybe it's it's partially because of the animals and also partially because this lens is gigantic.
This is also the sport model, and this lens weighs about 8 pounds.
Crazy.
And I've had this tripod since I was in 6th grade, so it's seen better days and is not built for what we're doing at all.
That's fine.
And I could go buy a new one, I just haven't. We need physically a better tripod. Do they make like gimbal setups for the top? That'd be cool.
That would be cool.
And when we plug the camera into the computer, it like refuses to use its autofocus or any of its other onboard features. So I got to play with that and figure out what we're capable of here. But you're right, Alex. We need some image stabilization. He says we look pretty amazing. Did we try too hard? This is honestly how we dress all the time, or I dress all the time. Not necessarily you. What is that over there? Hold up.
Pelicans.
I'm still waiting for that kingfisher.
Right?
Oh, that's a raven. Never mind.
Yeah, I can hear them behind us too. Of course we can.
So we're sitting in prehistorically Miwok territory, Miwok Indian, Miwok Native territory. There was just an article released indicating that we now have very good evidence to suggest people have lived in North America for at least 21,000 years, which is incredible. I would argue that it's probably much longer, and we've lost some of that original ancestral homeland to exactly what we're looking at here: sea level rise, climate change, and erosion. I would estimate humans have been living in North America for closer to 30,000 or more years. There are sites on the coast not far from here that are 15 to 18,000 years old, just as is. And when you factor the fact that 5 miles of coastline has disappeared over the last 10,000 years, I think it's pretty reasonable to assume people have been here quite a long time. I do wake up like this. I just wake up instant bush attire. Let's see, I'm gonna move this guy down a hair. There we go.
I followed that pelican for a while. It's hard because the sun's right there.
I know. Should we try to pick up our... No, so Alex, one of our other ideas here is we're gonna get literally a radio flyer wagon and paint it Land Rover green. We're gonna like put little decals on it, make it look like a tiny Land Rover. But we're gonna put our whole live streaming kit in it, so we have a mobile safari truck when we're out in places like this that we can't drive in. For the sole purpose of, if we're here and we want to go get a shot down there, we don't have to awkwardly pick all this crap up and like walk there. We just tow it in our Land Rover wagon. There we go, morning shot of a raven. Now the raven's what first got me thinking of the indigenous people here. It's central. If I remember right, ravens were seen as like warlock and witch figures. And in fact, just behind us, we'll get a shot of it here in a minute, is Mount Tam, which is, I think, the highest peak in the Bay Area.
I think so.
But there's a trio of mountains. There's Mount Diablo, Mount Tam, and then Mount St. Helena. Mount St. Helena is in Napa, Mount Diablo is in the East Bay, and then we've got Mount Tam right here behind us in the North Bay. And these three mountains were seen as kind of the path to the afterlife, which if you were to leave the San Francisco Bay, go through the Golden Gate Bridge and keep going out on the coast about 5 or 10 miles, there's the Farallons, which today are a massive bird colony, and I'd love to try to do a stream from there. Whether or not we'd get signal would be the question. But that was the land of the dead, as far as the Miwok were concerned.
You know who had ravens in mythology?
No.
Odin.
Odin. By Odin's beard.
By Odin's beard. Corvids.
Let's see.
I got a cool shot of this. This stilt is
Rolling
very
one stand
nicely.
crater setup. So that would be like an outdoor version. So sweet. Rolling one stand crater setups. Is that an actual kit that people have? Have you heard of that?
Of what?
Rolling one stand creator setups.
No idea what that is.
Yeah, I'm gonna Google it right now.
As I fix the camera, because I popped it off the mount again. Come on. Look at that. Ugh. Framed itself so nicely. And now it's gone. But
I don't see anything on Google just now. Oh, maybe I do. Basically an equipment cart. Yeah, but we're gonna do it with a radio flyer wagon. With the cool wood on the sides.
What's better?
We're gonna do it but hokier and with much more duct tape. You put a light on a rolling C-stand, clamp a mic and tripod to the side, clamp a monitor below it, and the whole thing is one big Anton Bauer battery. That is kind of cool. However, I think Radio Flyer Wagon has it beat. We need it with the inflatable tires.
Yeah, right.
For a 4x4 mode.
Who's suggesting that? Alex?
Alex, yeah.
Yes.
That's a great idea. We're gonna take that and augment it with our Radio Flyer Land Rover. I'm just looking around to see if there's any other cool bird life. I can hear more birds than I think we're going to be able to film, because a lot of them are small songbirds. There's a lot of finches around, bush tits. What was the other one I heard? A wren. I heard a few wrens. And they're too small and fast, I think, to get a good shot here. I was hoping for an osprey nest. I thought there was one up in the tower behind us, but I'm probably wrong. You getting us a nice stilt shot? Look at that.
Yeah, he keeps moving back and forth. Again, he's just kind of framed himself very nicely in this branch.
I think after this, Best Buy and you can't go to Toys R Us, Walmart for a wagon. You want to actually here? I'm gonna flip around to you. There we go. And then, whoop! I don't want that. I want that. Perfect. Try to get you guys a shot of Mount Tam in the background there.
Oh yeah. Ta-da.
Mount Tam, the big guy out there, or the big lady out there, I should say. I think her nickname is the Sleeping Woman of the Mountains. You could just see the observatory, that little white dot on the far left. Pretty cool. It's got killer views of the stars. That'd be fun to do a stream from up there about astronomy. But again, this whole valley has been settled by humans for, we can confirm archaeologically, 15 to 20,000 years. Again, I would suspect quite a lot longer. And historically, marshes like this were way more common all the way through. So you would have seen humans, in a hunter-gatherer state, gathering food sources right alongside the stilts all through here. The San Francisco Bay has changed quite a lot. After the last ice age, water shifted around a lot, and California's Central Valley was effectively a giant inland ocean for quite a while that drained through the San Francisco Bay. So to the best of our knowledge, at one point, the bay water level would have been a lot lower, and then slowly risen over time as the seas rose. And roughly where the Golden Gate Bridge is now, there would have been a massive waterfall. And we estimate this based on the fact that there's erosion patterns below the bridge that are only found around waterfalls like Niagara, big ones. So there would have been a waterfall there, and then it would have continued as a stream or a river about 9 miles out to roughly where the Farallones are today. So the landscape that people would have known here indigenously would have looked quite different. But again, today, heavily urbanized. And I guess I'm just thinking about the fact that there's still, of course, people living here. There's been people living here for probably, again, definitely 15 to 20,000 years. So Alex says, the quality of all this is fantastic, by the way. What modifications did you make? Or is that all a home-based brain? Here, I'm going to switch our views real quick. So we played with this a lot. And again, a lot of this is contingent on the Skyroam device, which is pretty cool. I'll have to check it. I'll check after the show, actually, to get what its current settings are. In fact, I can look partly right now. Come on. But basically, we're running OBS. We're streaming, of course, to YouTube. We've got an endless supply of cables. But I'm pretty pleased with this giant Yeti. What is it? Yeti 250X battery that we've got to power everything out here. But it's all going to Skyroam. That's all power, and then being filtered through Skyroam. And I preset the visuals in OBS for 1280 by 720 and tried to optimize it for YouTube. I thought I noticed that it looked a little funky, but maybe that was just my end. Right now we're on a 4G T-Mobile signal, which is pretty good.
Pretty all right. Looking for something else.
Let's see. He says, just as he says that, connectivity seemed to be breathing a little bit. This says we've dropped about 6% of frames. which I guess I've noticed a little bit because I'm keeping tabs on the stream here to the side. I wonder if it's like when we're moving around a lot, or yeah, that it looks a little fuzzy and weird, but I don't know, maybe that's just me. No, see, then it clicks right back in and looks okay. I don't know. That's the weirdest thing. That's good. He says it hasn't happened in a little while now, though. Honestly, I'm amazed this all works, to be really honest. Yeah, I think if we try to do a lot of sweeps with the camera, it's going to get weird.
Yeah.
And then this is pretty straightforward because we're very mobile. The wagon will let us start getting a little bit more moving around, but we're not going to be moving to the point where we'd be jumping cell towers. So my big thing that I want to test next is I want to get all this rig set up in a car and do a driving adventure through. I don't really care where we are.
Somewhere.
But I don't want to go very fast. I want to imitate if we were in a game park. You're only going 15 or 20 miles an hour most of the time.
Can we drive through Muir Woods?
I don't know if there's signal there, but we can try it later. Why not? We're
I
here.
was like, let's just take the top down in the Jeep. Let's go.
But I know when we start driving around, every time the Skyrim jumps cell towers, that could be where we get a little bit weird.
Yeah. I like distance.
Got another one?
Yeah, it's over here. Let's see where he's gonna go. Where you going, fella? Damn you. I wonder if we moved down there, if it'd be any better.
I feel like it'd be less.
Be less stills.
There's like less around it though. Yeah, Alex agrees. Muir Woods is like a giant dead zone.
Yeah. But Ewoks.
But Ewoks? But Star Wars?
And this is what's the oh, never mind.
I love how any little motion there, it just looks insane because it's like bouncing around.
Oh really?
I need to go get a better
You think
tripod.
it's
This,
smoother?
do you have any recommendations for tripods, Alex? Because again, when we plug this camera in, for whatever reason, the autofocus and image stabilizer doesn't want to work. So this is all handheld. I mean, you know, hand controlled stuff, hand focus, and then hand trying to keep everything as still as we can. Any recommendations for a better tripod? All those pelicans left too.
I know.
I think what happened here is we just missed, you know, golden hour.
Yeah.
I think we caught the very tail end of it.
Yeah. We were here at 8.
Yeah. Ooh, that gets weird.
Yeah. Just because it didn't stay like it should have. That's my bad.
So do you know the bird there? These are stilts. And we were just talking about, I think we just missed golden hour, which is that period in the morning when kind of just everything comes to life for a very brief amount of time. I call it the salutation. It's like typically at sunrise, you'll hear just all the birds start to sing and get really excited. Animals are still moving around for a while. And then as the morning peters and the sun comes up, the activity level drops off the face of the earth. These are called stilts, S-T-I-L-T. Not a particularly great shot of them because they're behind brush now.
Yeah.
Maybe we should
And
move.
I'm looking for another one.
But it's a shorebird, common here in the Bay Area. They're actually common all up and down the California coast. They follow around the Gulf Coast. You could find them in the coast of Texas, Louisiana, Alabama, Florida. Their range extends all the way down into Brazil, so you'd find them through the Amazon as well, or at least the brackish waters at the mouth of the Amazon. Very, very wide-ranging, and they are seasonal. You'll find them typically in the warmer months. So I think, too, we're seeing kind of the last ones thinking of hanging around before they start moving south. I'm just noticing now waves of migrations moving south. Yeah, good morning. Thank you for joining us. Let me just turn, let's see here. Here we go. Perfect. Fade that in. So for those of us just joining us, again, my name is Alex. We've got Jeff here on camera, and we are or in Mill Valley, California, in the San Francisco Bay, contemplating birding, wildlife, and sea level rise. We talked earlier a little bit about this whole area here is at risk of intense sea level rise. In fact, let me pull my map back up so I can show you guys. We debated too, what's a better term? Climate change might not be the best term. But this area is projected to see up to 10 feet of sea level rise by the end of the decade, which is pretty intense, which would mean that the entire background, I mean, we're standing about 6 feet tall. Everything here is going to be underwater. Here, just pulling my map up. Bear with me 2 seconds, folks. Can you turn the camera over just a hair? To the left? Yeah, right there. Perfect. Don't move a muscle.
Oh, God.
You got it.
No pressure.
No pressure at all. So we got our map here of the projected sea level rise for the San Francisco Bay Area. And as you can see, as that map moves there, the graphic goes, a lot of what we now know of as major urbanized areas will be underwater if we don't change our path or alter the way we live our life. I'm going to give us a better shot here of the background. There we go. Perfect. So again, we're out here at the Wetland Preserve, but everything you can see will be underwater by the end of the century, up to 10 feet. So I don't want to mess with this too much or disturb the wildlife, but I'm going to walk out here just a little bit. I'm 6'1". Right, so the theory would be, what, 4 more feet? That's a lot of water. Also notice the refusal to wear boots when I don't have to. Flip-flops.
Always. Shorts and flip-flops.
Shorts and flip-flops.
The time.
It's warming up though, I could probably take off the army coat now.
There was part of me that was surprised you were in flip-flops, and then I was like,
That's
now
normal.
That's very him. Here we have calling over to our right.
Golden morning hour is about 5:30 to 6 there now. Also influenced by the tidal flow, absolutely. I would say since we've been here, Jeff, don't you feel like the tide has come in a little bit?
A tiny bit.
I feel like when we first got here, there was more mud visible.
Stay on the stilts. Stay.
I imagine this place is very, very beautiful at 6 or so in the morning. I think really anywhere though is beautiful at 6 in the morning. Let's see, turn this around. If I can, bam. Beauty. Oh, perfect. No, I'm down there. I think absolutely anywhere is beautiful at 6 in the morning. My favorite times of day are sunrise and sunset, simply because that's all the colors are the prettiest, the sky is the prettiest, and you get the most abundant wildlife activity. I think in particular, going out in the late evening, right around sundown, is probably your best bet, because that's when I think you start to see a lot of animal activity start. That's when animals are first wanting to get up and explore, especially if it was a hot day, they're gonna be resting in the shade. Then they're gonna get up and start feeding, start drinking, start moving. And all through the night, you can expect to see a reasonable amount of activity, depending on what part of the world you might call home. Fingers crossed, we're gonna be doing streams like this from Africa very soon. And we'll be able to show you a little bit better. In fact, we'll be out doing a show at about 6 in the morning specifically, which in California will be 9 p.m. And I'm hoping we can show you that first, well, it won't quite be first light because the sun will be up at about 4:40, 5 o'clock. But still, that first burst of activities is always incredible. And I think we're just missing it. You're right, it is probably heavily influenced by the tides when food is available. There we go. Switch back dust for 2 seconds. Yeah, I'm pretty excited about this, Alex. I think it is the first time that all the equipment's come together and worked. For the first time. We didn't comment about the sound working.
Well, that's right.
Because half the time when we start a show, we're like, damn it, the sound isn't working. Okay, it sounds like you're down here quite a lot in the mornings. I imagine you've seen some beautiful, beautiful sightings. If you've seen something cool like an osprey or any kind of hawks or an owl maybe that was out a little bit late, please let us know or give us some tips, because I hope to come back to this area on a semi-frequent basis and be able to present some live virtual safaris like this for really anybody that wants to hang out and enjoy some nature. But if you could help guide us, because we're just two guys in khaki.
The show's called Misguided.
Well, this isn't Misguided. This is WildLIVE.
That's right. Well, still.
Yes, Rachel is coming to Africa. We're pretty excited. We got married last October. Coming up here in a few days will be our first anniversary. So we're going to go for our first anniversary, and she hasn't ever experienced it before. So I'd love for her to see it and soak it all in, because I don't know, when you come out to a setting like this marshland here, I think you really get a sense of the feel of what being in Africa is like. Because again, you're just outdoors, you're unplugged, unplugged, we're very much plugged in. Right, Jeff?
Yes.
The basic feeling is the same of appreciating nature, being out here. That's why I like to go barefoot when I can, to just feel the ground. I'm excited for Rachel to feel all that and experience it for the first time. I know she's going to be heavily addicted to it.
She's going to love it.
If we can find a way to move there, I think that would be killer. You've even seen bobcats here.
Oh my God. I believe that.
I figured it was you, Tanya. Your screen name was different. I couldn't quite tell. She says she's seen bobcats down here in the marsh.
Yeah, I believe it.
Pelican.
Doing anything exciting?
Pelican.
Oh my God, incoming. Let's go circle back.
We were trying to get a shot of a kingfisher earlier. We got one down in the tree, but it just evaded us. Let's see what we've got. I thought I saw somebody.
There's some more stilts and stuff over there, but
I thought there was a hawk right there. Poked in the butt by a big thorn. Shoo. 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 Now that's a seagull.
More pelicans.
It's getting warm fast.
Right?
I would love to hear and see reactions of Africa. Well, I'm hoping very much that we can bring those to you live and in real time, because we've done some pre-recorded stuff in the past, and I don't know, it's not quite the same as that magic of in the moment. I mean, imagine that you're driving down picture this first off as a wider path, but you're driving down a path like this and suddenly a leopard pops out of the bush. The magic that just seeps its way through you instantaneously is absolutely incredible. Or if you're lucky enough to you know, see something kind of rare like mating lions or what, a painted dog. I mean, just anything that happens.
Yeah.
It's incredible.
Yeah.
Stilts are good too. We're enjoying the stilts. Let's try something tricky here. So we're also trying our hand at cinematography. We've got these pelicans that have kind of been coming back and forth. Do you want to try to track one?
Sure. We can try and move if you want as well. That's not on my camera, is it?
No. Okay, so we've got pelicans moving around in the bay out here. Ooh. Come on, buddy. Stay there. There we go. Beauty. Yeah, so of course if we were at a African watering hole like this, I'd half expect to see hippos pop their heads up out of the water here.
Yeah. Filter, vocalizing. Where'd you go?
Here's a vulture. That's somebody new.
He's gonna be right above me, not helpful.
Straight out of the shot. Here he comes again. Nope, maybe not. Round two.
Vulture, help me. Work with me a little bit. Curse you. There's a pelican. Yeah, all the pelicans are landing on the other side over here.
Oh yeah?
Yeah. All circling back. Hang on.
Hang on. What do we got? What?
Burb.
Bird?
Right at the bottom branch there.
Oh, hold on.
Hang on, I gotta walk in front of the camera.
That's okay. We've got a bird. This has just basically become a giant birding adventure.
Hello, Burb. What are you? Are you a tit?
Sounds like we have a cat watching as well. Fascinated by our bird broadcast. I can't tell what that is.
I can't tell either.
Stand that up and get my binoculars out. Is he? Yeah, he's still there.
Little putty little guy.
He is pudgy. Is that a finch? Looks like a finch.
Is it?
Maybe. Let's
Maybe.
pull out our app and ask.
Oh, there you go. This app is so good. Damn, flew away. Nope, it's still there. Nope, I lost him. He's gone. He's just
Nope. Didn't quite get an audio on him. Well, we're coming up on an hour. I think in a minute here we'll probably wrap it up and then
yeah.
analyze how this went.
Didn't go as planned, but a good time.
Yeah, it didn't quite go as planned, but hey, I think it worked.
But everything works.
Want to get us a closing shot, Jeff?
Sure. that's the wrong way.
There.
There's a really
Well, I
stilty
would
boy.
say that this particular adventure wasn't like super exciting. We saw some cool birds. We had, I think, just a chance to unplug and experience being in nature, and to ourselves at least to prove the concept does work and we're not idiots and we plugged it all in correctly.
Speak for yourself.
Well, hey, you did a masterful job there on the turret gun. We need a wagon so we can
We
move
need a
around.
wagon, for sure.
I think, yeah. I mean, if we're in a car in Africa doing this, it's gonna be phenomenal. It's gonna be killer. It's gonna
It's
be
gonna
great.
be amazing.
I think we should continue this though. We're gonna continue streaming from just various preserves, marshes, whatever, all over wherever we happen to be. It was this one today. Who knows where we'll be next time or what adventure we'll be on in the future. I'm sure if we're in California, it's honestly gonna be a lot of birding. Because finding mammals, man, out here is tricky. It's tricky.
Yeah.
You got to be in the right place at the right time. Other parts of the world, they just seem to be everywhere constantly. But again, the simple goal for us on this particular program is to give you guys in the audience, and thank you so much for joining us, the tools and confidence to explore nature actively. We want you to go out and do this for yourself. We don't want you to just simply join us on the streams, although that's much appreciated. We want to give you guys the confidence to explore and see the world and know what you're looking at, or at least know how to approach nature. We're going to be doing this from Africa, ideally regularly, but for now we're doing all of our beta testing here in the good old San Francisco Bay. So that's what we got. What do we have here to send us out, Jeff?
Just a stilty boy, but we're gonna zoom out so we can look at Mount Tam one last time, I think.
All right, we're on you.
Stilty boy.
Well, that's a nice. We'll definitely get out here in the next few weeks again. I think we should come at dusk though next time.
That'd be cool.
Like Tanya says here.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And heck, maybe next time, if we can find signal, we'll do a stream from Mount Tam.
Yeah.
A lot
there
to
you
see
go.
up there. Do something about the redwoods. Maybe we'll go look for amphibians or something like that.
Indeed.
Oh, there you go. Look
Sorry.
at that whip around.
Sorry.
Let's finish on a house.
It's fine. Everything's fine.
I got you here.
The whole thing's just at a weird angle.
Look at how professional we are.
Nailed it. There you go. Thank you.
Alrighty, folks. We'll see you next time. Thank you, everyone, for joining us.